how the lady really felt or how his children felt. They accept it because certain things I feel like they accept when it comes to dollars and cents. And I think it had a whole lot to do with some dollars and cents because I know without a shadow of a doubt, and let me just make it real plain for you. I'm married to someone, and then down the line, and we're still together, and he comes to me and say, "Hey, babe, I want to have this old dingaling made into a swingaling." I know I'm gonna be aggravated to the 10th power. I'm not gonna have no friendliness in my heart toward that individual. So, it might be his truth, but think of the humiliation that you would feel because there's no way in the world that you can compare yourself. And all this time, all my red lipstick been missing because he been using my red lipstick, but I didn't know it. He wasn't using it around me. He was using it when I was gone. So it's so ironic that you put this into play because a year ago today, we had sipped the tea with Uncle Tim about finding out if your partner was bisexual and you was married to him and you was not. And it's just so ironic that you brought that to the forefront because that's what it was. It was like, wow, she said that. And a year ago on this day, we spoke about this same type conversation. But I do believe if a man tell you upfront and personal the truth, a woman has to be able to accept it, deal with it, or move on. Because most of the time, most men and women, they feel like if they don't tell you something, if they leave a portion out or if something is missing, they're not lying because they never expressed it one way or the other. Am I right about that, Anson? I know Anson was here a few minutes ago, but I see that Douglas here. So Douglas, I'm gonna jump on down to you. Do you feel that if a person does not tell you a portion of something, that they are not lying, that it's not considered being told a lie, and the truth is still there?
Well, if they don't tell you the whole truth and nothing but the truth, then it's not the truth.
But if it's not said, if it's not a spoken word, is that still considered a lie if it's not told to
Okay,
you?
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna play on what he said. Douglas, that
Is
didn't
your
even
name
make
Douglas?
sense.
Is your name Douglas?
I know. I'm
If
just
your
saying
name Douglas,
your
hold your
response did not
horses.
make sense. But go ahead.
If you know the whole truth but you don't tell it, it's a lie of omission.
Okay, thank you. I agree with that.
Okay, so break that down for Dr. Fabulous one more time because it went clean across my head. I said, if you have a situation, but it's not told to you because you leave that portion out, is that still considered a lie? Because you don't know the whole truth because you weren't told the whole truth. You just wasn't told, period.
Douglas,
Doug-
answer.
yes, Mama. Well, okay, I jumped on a little late, and I know the topic was lies and fabrications. So you saying the person who told you something doesn't know all of it?
No, no, no. That's not what I said. What I said was in a situation, whether a relationship with a man or a woman, and something takes place, but they don't tell you, period. Would that still be considered that they are lying to you? Because not to say anything is not the lie or the truth. But if you found out about it secondhand, then is that considered to you a lie? But they didn't say anything to you one way or the other. Nothing never came out of their mouth. So would you consider that to be a lie to you when it was never a spoken word? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, something going on and someone doesn't tell you anything,
Mm-hmm.
and then you find out later that they knew about it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I wouldn't put that as a lie.
Okay. All right.
Then
Okay.
what would you put it as, Douglas?
So, Dr. Fatma.
Ask me, because let me tell you something.
I'm gonna ask
So,
you.
Wait,
believe that's a
first,
lie.
Douglas. What would you
Kay,
put it as?
Kay, Special K, you're breaking up really, really bad. But Lady T, you were saying something to Douglas, and then I'm gonna come over here to Cassandra, and Anson has his hand up. So let's go in that order. Douglas, whatever Lady T was trying to ask you, if you will answer it, and then we'll jump up to Cassandra. And when Special K get her audio right, we'll come to her. But
Just call me Sandy. I didn't come across as Sandy. Just call me Sandy.
okay, Sandy.
Cassandra,
Douglas?
Lady T, I didn't hear your question because Cassandra Sanders interrupted you.
Okay, what I was asking was, what would you call it if you do not call it a lie? Because when you're hiding information from someone, that's not the whole truth.
But who said it was being hidden? They just did not tell that portion of what really happened.
Okay, can I interject right there? You said omission. So it's like this, omission.
I thought they said call you Sandy, not Douglas. Lady T,
My thing is you contradict yourself. You said if omission is still a lie. You said that in the earlier. Can we play it back?
Okay, guys, one
Dr.
at a time.
Fabulous.
Go ahead, Douglas. Let me have your side, please.
From Dr. Fabulous, it's like something happened, one person didn't tell you, and you found out about it. To the extreme, it could be in the lie category, but I really don't consider that if something happened and someone didn't tell me about it. But if I asked and you don't tell me, then yeah, that's a lie. But Dr. Fabulous seemed to me was stating that something happened and you didn't get any information about it until later. I don't consider that a lie. To me, a lie is if you tell me part of something to hide it from me. That's what I'm considering a lie in a conversation and stuff. But if you know something happened and you didn't tell me about it, and I found out about it later, to me, that's you just didn't tell me. I don't call that a lie. But if something happened and you give me bits of information that you knew about and you concealed it from me, you hid it from me, and it's something serious, yeah, then I call it a lie.
Right.
Okay, so we got Douglas' explanation of it. I'm gonna hold you to that, Douglas.
Please call on Sandy so she could get it out. She constipated with answers.
Okay. Wow, that was cute. That was a different terminology. Sandy, go ahead. Anson, get ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it like this. In regards to friendship, relationship, romantic, platonic, whatever, information withheld. It's not everybody, business to know everything about you. In regards to sex, I think there's different protocols to each category in regards to sex. So if you know you are HIV positive, and just because a person didn't ask you, are you HIV positive? You not to disclose that because they didn't ask you, are you still committing a crime? In the court of law, yes, you are. Okay. So not omitting the full truth is a crime in that aspect, in a sexual aspect.
Talking about
Because
is it a lie or not? You talking about crimes and stuff. Repeat the question so and answer the question stated.
No, I'm breaking it down to categories, sexual aspects to you know
So
a
your
business
bottom line answer
aspect.
is yes
I'm
or
breaking it
lie.
down to categories, but what I'm saying, it's the same thing. If you don't ask a person, so it's like if you go into you meet this person, oh my gosh, you're fabulous, 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 and and you ask them, are they single? Now you have to really define what single means to a person. So there was single may mean to a person, I'm not with somebody right now, but I'm legally, married to a person, but we're separated, whatever. So it's like you really got to define by category. So the same mindset that you may want to do with business, it cannot be the same because it has to be different between each category. Sexual, business, romantic, there's a different aspect because if you choose the direction as Douglas pointed out, if I didn't ask you about it, and then I later found out about it, you didn't lie. So take that mindset in a sexual aspect. If you are HIV positive or you have AIDS, but I failed to ask you if you have V or have AIDS, and then I later find out that you do, that's not a lie. When actually in the court of law, that is a lie. So I think there's no broad spectrum that covers every category. Sexual is a different category. Business is a different category.
So how many categories are there?
It's a different category. That's all I'm saying.
How many
All
categories
right.
are there that you have to ask about?
You know what? When it
It's
comes
a
to sex,
plethora.
when it
It's
comes
a
to sex,
plethora of categories.
it's a plethora of them. Because if there's when you're looking to have a romantic sexual connection with a person, then there's a lot of sexual transmitted diseases that you can, chlamydia, you can take a little antibiotic for, you get rid of that, but there's some that you cannot. So there's a conversation that needs to be had, and hopefully it's upfront and very honest. Because if you know that you have certain things and don't disclose it,
Herpes,
um,
that's one.
So Dr.
yeah,
Fabulous,
yeah.
the answer to your question is yes. She
Oh,
considers lying, yes, to
okay.
simplify the conversation.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Douglas. Thank you, Sandy. All right, Anson, it's all on you.
Hello, everyone.
Good evening.
One thing I will always say, and I will always profess, is what's the shortest distance between 2 points? Straight line. All this other conversations outside of what the question was is a distraction from whatever the main point is. I've actually lost focus of what the question was. So could you
Okay, well, let me bring you back, Anson. The question was that if someone did not tell you something and you found out later on that they did not tell you, whether they were saving your feelings or whatever it may have been, is that considered a lie? Would you feel like that person had told you a lie?
No, because it would depend on what I'm asking in the first place. One thing that I teach my son on a regular basis is answer what is asked of you.
Don't
No,
give no more information other than what is
no, no,
asked.
no. I'm not. Don't no add to what I'm saying. Now I'm saying just make sure you answer the question. You can say whatever you want to say. Can't nobody tell you what to say. But
Okay.
if someone asks you a question and you don't answer the question, therein lies the problem. But if you choose to omit said information, as long as you answer the question, that's all that matters. For example, I worked at Foot Locker. We all know that. But is it my responsibility to tell you what my position was or how long I was there? No, that's up to me to divulge the information if I want to.
So what I'm saying, that's a different category. It's not a sexual category. That's an employment category. There takes a certain level of responsibility and transparency per category.
And
Sexual
that's going in a
category,
different direction.
sexual
That's
category,
not a straight line.
category, it should be more a little bit transparent.
If you're asking a sexual question, then yes, you are correct. But the general question that was asked was, is omitting information a lie? I say no.
Omitting the information, if I've dealt with you and say, you HIV, AIDS are like omitted, that cannot be a general thing. It has to be broken down in categories because it means a world of a difference.
So if you're asking a question, you're asking a specific question. So if you ask me if I have HIV and I tell you no, but I got AIDS, if I don't tell you that, whose fault is that? Mine or yours?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's having a conversation. Like my thing, look, all I can say is this. We all have children here, right? And the semantics that we play regarding people's lives can be very dangerous. And not to say that people that have AIDS or who are HIV cannot find love or whatever, but to be honest about where you are. And I know it's really hard, but we're living in a life that a lot of people are starting to tell their truths. They're trying to live their truths to attract people that align with their truth. Because we had a whole line DL epidemic here where they were, people that really liked the same sex, they were forced to live a lie according to society, but they really desired something else. So now everybody's coming out telling the truth. This is what I like. This is what what's his name? Dwight Howard. That's what he likes. That omission. And I know it's so hard to show someone who you really are, because it's like they can use my weaknesses against me. They can spread it, whatever, and they get mad at me. And it's so hard. But to omit, and I'm not even talking about jobs and stuff like that, because sometimes when you have a job, you may be pulled in so different areas of a job description that's outside of the job description you were hired for. You might as well put that shit on your resume because you did it all at one point or another. I'm not talking about the job, but I'm talking about where your life and health and your mental is really at stake.
So based off what you're saying, if I follow you correctly,
Mm-hmm.
the whole example of HIV/AIDS thing, the question is not about if you have HIV or AIDS. The question is, do you have either? So the question should be, do you have either? Opposed to, do you have HIV? Because you give me the opportunity. No, because you give me the opportunity. You
That
give me the
person.
opportunity to not answer your question.
Okay, so you met a woman, right? And you asked her, hey, do you have AIDS? She says no. Low key, she got HIV. Okay. So did you see there's a problematic thing with this? So my thing is, there has to be, and this is by law, whether you have AIDS or HIV, and known of this, it's documented that you got known of this information. So what you're saying, if the person didn't ask you per se, do you have AIDS or do you have HIV? If you didn't ask them that they have AIDS and they didn't tell you, you're not wrong. But by law, once you got notified, you tested positive for HIV or AIDS, and you didn't tell a person whether they asked you or not, because you look regardless healthy, that person that has it, they're going to be imprisoned because they are knowingly going about it, whether you chose to ask them or not. Because not everybody is smart enough, because they might be like, ooh, he made me feel good. Ooh, she made me feel good.
Okay, so again,
You may not be equipped mentally to ask appropriate questions, but this person already knows they tested positive for HIV, they tested positive for AIDS, but they failed to disclose it to you. And because of your logic, because you didn't ask them the right questions, if I didn't ask him per se, do you have AIDS? They would say, oh, no, I don't have AIDS.
and to
But
your
they
very point,
have HIV. So
and
they're not
again to
technically
your point,
lying to you.
and
Where's the issue?
again to your point, the burden of responsibility lies right back on you because you didn't ask what you really want to know.
You know what? You guys hear
Okay,
this?
so Dr.
I need you
Fab,
guys
did
to hear
you
this. I need you guys to
you
hear
didn't
this
say if
message.
the person asked you something, you said if you found out about it. And that was the question. Y'all stay on
Okay.
topic.
I,
Dr.
well,
Fab,
listen,
Hello,
listen.
Lady Fabulous. I'm sorry.
Okay,
You know,
give me 1 second, just 1 second, because I want to make clarity for Sandy and for Anson. Now I understand exactly what Sandy is saying because it can be detrimental. Understood, whether it's AIDS, HIV, or whatever. So that's just like you say, do you eat pork? Do you eat pork chops? In the same family. All Sandy is saying is when it comes to sex, anything that can harm someone, it should be put out there. All people will not be honest. All people will not say it. They may want you to ask the exact question. That's what Anson is saying. But in legalities, whether you have AIDS, HIV, or anything, and I'm saying this to everyone on the panel, if you find out that you have some form of sexually transmitted disease and it can harm someone to even may cause death, baby, you will be put under the jail if you don't disclose that information. So that's all I'm saying. I see Lil Bo Pete, you don't know how to raise your hand, but I'm gonna call on you, and then I'm gonna come back up to Dr. Feelgood because Lil Bo Pete, you were swinging your hand left and right trying to get the attention of Sandy or Anson. So go ahead and respond, Lil Bo Pete. I know that's not your real name, Lil Bo Pete, but Lil Bo Pete, go ahead and respond to Anson or Sandy or share with us what you would like to share.
hey, how
You,
y'all? Can you hear me?
we can
Yes,
hear
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, first of all, thank you for this link for allowing me to come and join this discussion. And
Uh-huh.
Bo Peep was my dad's nickname, so they call me Lil Bo Peep sometimes, but
Okay.
everybody call me Jay. I was itching to jump. I was itching to jump in because like omission is a whole lot. Like just because you don't ask, don't mean you're not supposed to know. Especially something detrimental to your health or your well-being. Like if I'm dealing with a woman and she don't tell me just because I ain't asked, she's still lying. It's no different than a husband, with a wife. Just because you don't tell her you cheating, you're still living a lie. Like a lie is a lie, no matter how you try to dress it up and make it sound good. As a man, I don't want to deal with a woman that has anything going on and she don't tell me about it. Like the other week, I was telling one of my friends when I was 18 and I was in college, this girl, she was a little older than me. She invited me to her house. She didn't tell me she had a boyfriend. I'm in there sitting on the bed. She don't cook pork chops, potatoes, English peas. And next thing
Not
you
the
know, somebody
English
walking through the
peas.
English peas.
Go
And they were
on,
busting.
man.
And they were busting.
Oh, okay.
Next thing I know, I hear a dude coming in the house to my, hey, baby, what you cook for dinner? And I'm in there on the bed. Like she could have got me killed because she didn't tell me the truth. So just because she didn't tell me to make it okay.
No one ever said it
Oh,
was okay. I'm saying it's not a lie if you omit a fact. That's
well,
not a lie.
it is a lie if somebody don't tell you. Omission is a lie, brother. I don't know where you grew up at, but where I come from, if you omit it, it's a lie. You know what I'm saying?
According to Webster's dictionary, that's two different things. So it's not about where you're from, where you at. It's all about
according to reality, forget Webster. You know what I'm saying? Reality is if you meet somebody and they have anything going on and they don't tell you, they lied to you. You know what I'm saying? I think we live in a society where we try to make omission okay, or we try to make things okay that are really not okay.
But to your point of it being a lie, I would say this is that people omit things on a regular basis in their everyday life.
Facts.
That doesn't mean that people lie all day, every day. It just means that some things is just not everybody's business. I think we both can agree on that, right?
So if you're gonna bust down with a woman and she got herpes and she don't tell you, it when your business when them bumps pop up on you.
Yes, it's my business, but that's me. But that's me putting faith in somebody else. If you don't put faith in someone, then you ask the proper questions to get the proper answers.
Give me a dog. I hate people. I just really hate people. I'm gonna just give me a dog, and I'm gonna call it a day.
So what if you ask and she says no?
Y'all, we are. This is a case where I like.
I'm gonna give me a dog. I'm gonna get a German Shepherd.
Presented.
I hate people.
And Dr. Fabulous, her question, it's a slight, you move an inch to the left or the right, then yes, it's a lie. But her question, y'all are not answering the question presented, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I appreciate all of you all for giving me all of that. But let's take this because somebody said something that triggered in my mindset. It was said that people can use things against you. I believe it was Sandy that said, when people want to live their truth, that sometimes it can be used against you. Now, let's look. I'm going to paint this picture real clear. In your past, you had a boyfriend and you all did some little sexual things and it was really good to you. It kind of like made you smile when you look back at it, and you kept it as a video. Right? In your phone. Listen to me. Listen to this picture real good. You kept it as a video in your phone because it just triggered you. But then you met somebody and you thought y'all was in love. You thought y'all was inseparable. And you start, because when you love somebody, you feel you can tell them any and everything and share some of your most deepest, darkest secrets. But when you do this, because this person has insecurities in themselves, they can't look past that video. So now the situation is, should you have shown him? Should you have shared this with him? Or should you, the question I'm asking is, when you meet someone and you think you're in that deep, profound relationship, do you feel you should share with them some of your past escapades? That's the question.
No, hell no. Hell no.
No, it's none of your business.
Take it to your grave.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
not.
Okay.
Wait now, but
Take
when
it to
you're
your
in
grave. So petty.
that men and women ask.
Yeah, what men and women have, because now you live in California and you used to be a stripper and all this good stuff, but you in love with this man now, and y'all thinking about getting married.
Take it to your grave. They so petty and so insecure.
No.
You see the men in this conversation.
Okay, but my question is, do you share this with him? Because now y'all
No,
talking about getting married.
I said take it to your grave, take it to God. That's what you do.
Oh, okay now.
Now, do y'all see the hypocrisy in y'all statements just now.
No, because you just said in your other statement, if the person doesn't really ask, there's no reason for you to divulge. He has no need to know what the fuck he did ask. So therefore, in your statement is that if they didn't ask specifically, you don't need to divulge. Okay,
That's right.
so therefore, that's what he said. So let's be on that pretense
And
play
take it to
that
the grave. And
So
you say
whatever
take
you
it to
give
the
to
grave,
me,
Sandy.
whatever platform you put me on, all right, that's my platform.
All right. So
And once
we
again,
have one. Listen now. We have one that says take it to the grave. And then you have one that's saying, see how it's contradictory.
yep,
So answer and tell me how that's contradictory. If you're
because
saying, if they don't ask, let me finish. If they don't ask that proper, direct, exact question, you don't divulge the information. But now you're saying that Sandy is contradicting because she's saying now to take her past to the grave and not share it with the person that she's getting ready to have a profound relationship with. So
with
tell
this
me.
conversation we was just having, it was just stated that omission is a lie, right? So that was in lockstep with what Sandy was saying about omission being a lie. But then she turned around and say, take it to the grave. If that's not hypocrisy, I don't know what is.
No, you said I was piggybacking on your logic.
And
So
you
if
was
I
going
would
against your
apply
own.
your logic and I follow your rules, my moves are dismissed because I'm following your leadership, right? I'm following your leadership. I'm gonna go by your rules and your statement, as you said earlier. What I think, because I think that you omit things that's a lie, but you said, and it's recorded, that omission is not a lie. So
No, it's
therefore,
not.
if I adopt your mentality to ride your wave to fuck with you, I'm cool.
But you're riding my wave, but you were speaking against my wave. So you're going against yourself in the same process. That
No,
is
you're
by
the man. You're
definition
the leader.
that
I'm gonna
that
follow
is
you.
by definition hypocrisy.
You're the man. You're the leader. I'm gonna ride your wave on this.
I ride with that.
Okay, it's all good.
I mean, my past don't. I mean, as long as nothing in my past happened, well, I don't. It's not detrimental to you, to a woman, to the person I'm dealing with. I'm not gonna show. She mentioned a video. I'm not gonna show or tell a woman something that I did with another woman because as soon as they get upset, I got to hear about it again.
Yep.
I ain't gonna do it.
Anson, they are bringing it tonight. Douglas, we still need to tweak you a little bit.
Point of order.
Where's my girl Leanne? That's who I want to hear from.
Leanne is right here. I'm going to ask the direct question, and you cannot misrepresent yourself because omission is a lie, period. It's leaving out one or more important facts in order to foster misconception. God damn it, you lying if you're not telling somebody and you sexually involved, or if the question, like Anson said, is asked directly. Niggas gonna lie anyway. Male and females. When I say niggas, it's male and females. Omission is a lie. And once you lie, we done. We're done. Omission is a lie. So the moral of the story is, when you meet somebody, it depends on what you want out of it. You want just sex or you want a relationship? You want that relationship, y'all better go have tests. Period. A man will not be shamed. A man will not be shamed to go with you to the doctor where both of you guys take a test. Because I take him to the doctor.
Here we go. Dr. Phelps, the first question, what I understand, there was no question asked. It was you found out something, and then you found out that person knew about it, but no question was asked. That's what I understand the first question was.
The exact question, Douglas, was,
You are correct, Douglas, but I moved on to something else.
Right.
And
Your second question involves if someone asks you something and they omit something, yes, that's a lie. The first question was something happened, but no questions were asked. And you found out some information. I call that not a lie. The second question, as everyone is answering to, if you ask something and you don't answer it fully, you leave out information, yes, that's a lie.
Okay.
So you ask the questions. That's the that's what Answer is saying. If you're asked, the question directly,
no question was asked. No question was asked. Therefore, you found out some information later. I'm saying that person didn't lie to you because there was no question asked. Now, if a question is asked and you don't do full disclosure, yes, that's lying.
Okay. What if I went roundabout and just say, is there something that I need to know?
Question and you don't get a truthful answer, the person lied, period.
Okay, that's true. I agree.
But the question was, if I am in a relationship, whether I'm married, in a complicated relationship, whatever, and I want to be with someone of the same sex, but I am like in this relationship with the opposite sex, is it considered a lie?
You asked the question, are you bisexual? What's your preference? Male or female? Male or female? What's your preference? You may be in a relationship. A woman could be in a relationship with a man, but want to be with another woman.
That's a good point, valid point. Okay. I didn't look at that perspective.
But if they're in a relationship with a man, but they prefer a woman, and they meet Jane Doe, and the question is asked, you know, do you like my type? I don't know how they do it. I'm strictly dickly, but I'm just saying. Whatever you do, you still ask the question. Here's a simple thing. You meet girl meets boy. Are you married? You separated, but you're still married. But you'll say you're single because you're separated. That's a lie. So in these days and times with STDs, it don't have to be AIDS or HIV. It could just be herpes, gonorrhea, whatever the case may be. That's detrimental to your health also. Is there anything that is negative in your health that will prevent us from having a profound relationship?
But y'all keep adding stuff to a question and coming up with your own questions and answering your own
I asked the question. I didn't add anything. I wasn't on here in the beginning, but I asked the question. But did I leave out anything? No, I did not. So don't try to beat around the bush of the question that I just asked.
But wait, Leanne, because you can ask that question and the answer can be no. Someone can have HIV or AIDS and still live a happy life and have sex with a person who is non-HIV.
I understand that, but listen to what I asked.
But the question you asked was, is there something that will harm me? Right?
If we didn't use a condom, yes. Go ahead. You want me to go all the way?
You can bring it, because research have shown it's some kind of pill out there for those who have HIV or AIDS. They can have sex with a person without HIV or AIDS, and that pill will protect them.
Yeah, but they still spreading germs. So ask the question, come out, ask. If they can't answer it, you don't need to be bothering anyone because they too childish.
Okay.
So the question that was just asked, is there anything that can harm me? Yeah, this relationship, when you leave me, you break my heart, and that'll hurt my feelings and harm me.
In another way.
Romantic, Douglas.
That's bull crap. But I'm talking about in a health-like forum.
No, that was
let me ask the men this question. Let me ask the men this question. And it ain't gonna be day 1, 2, or 3, unless you're gonna sleep with them that fast. But
That's a possibility.
right, it is. But I'm just trying to put the little spin on it. Would you prefer the woman ask you? And would you answer?
Ask me what?
Do you have any sexual transmitted diseases?
I mean, yeah, I prefer
Have you
that.
ever had any sexual transmitted disease?
Yeah,
I'm
or
gonna
like,
ask you twofold.
okay, no, and yes, I would like for her to ask me that because it shows me that she gives a damn.
Exactly. And guess what? Do you mind, because I'm digging you, boo? Do you mind we going to the doctor to get tested?
I mean,
He
if you
gonna
don't
tell you he
believe
don't
it,
have no health insurance.
if you
We
don't
going to
believe it,
we'll go to a clinic. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you something. My sister worked for HIV/AIDS, and it's this guy that was digging me. We almost got married, but of course we did. I told him, I said, we
not
need to
of
go up the
course.
street and get tested. He said, okay, I don't have no problems with that. Some men would be offended by that. And if you're offended, you don't even need to come my way because it's just too much out there.
I agree with you on that because if
Mhm.
you're not willing to take a test, then why would you want to sleep with someone?
Yeah,
But
but they do.
But at the same time, I would have to trust you enough to even want to take a test too. So I mean, it's not saying that you have to have more trust in you to take a test than to have sex. Yes, I mean they're both equally the same, but see, there's other things that can happen wrong from me going to a clinic and taking the test, giving up my blood, opposed to sleeping with you. There's two
Now,
different.
You don't have to give up your blood these days. You can swab. You can do a swab.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yes, you can.
okay,
You can
so
swab.
let me just say this: all these people out here, I'm just saying people, and they have one night stands. Later on down the line, something happens and they don't know where they got it from because they're promiscuous when it comes down to sex. And then later on, they fall in love with someone and they are the carrier of this disease. Now, what happens at that point? Because you do have people out there that sleep around that will go from Tom, Dick, and Harry with these one night stands. And then later on in their lifetime, they want to settle down. So, with that being said, what do you do at this point, Leanne?
I
I
don't
can't
have
say
one night stands, but if I was, we rapping and tapping, I'm fucking you and I'm feeding you to the fish because I'm not gonna sleep with you
I
naked
want to say
anyway.
this, Doc. Just let me tell you something. The pH balance. It's
Mhm.
HPV. So what I'm saying to you guys, it's like even though you may you slip up and the condom breaks or you have an unprotected sex that night, sometimes it's not HIV or chlamydia or that kind of thing. It's a pH balance is imbalancing your pHV. I mean pH unbalance. And then you got HPV because sometimes our bacteria may not align with his bacteria or whoever he's sexing bacteria, and it gets involved in our bacteria, and it causes an imbalance of pH bacteria imbalance, and that causes irritation and smell in the vagina area because it's not an STD, but it's an imbalance of a bacteria. And then you have HPV. HPV, gosh, it's typically is drawn from a man who's having sex with multiple people and then he gives that to that woman and it doesn't show up until you have an abnormal pap smear. And when you have an abnormal pap smear, they do extra tests and then it's either and then at that point it's found that it could lead to cervical cancer if undiagnosed. And let me tell you guys, when you go for your pap smear, they do not test for HPV. You have to tell them, test me for HPV, because that goes undiagnosed for a long time. And then when it shows up in your pap smear as, whatever, then you test, and then it's like, oh my gosh, you got HPV, oh, you got stage 4 dysplasia, or whatever that case is. So whenever you get your pap smear, say, test me for HPV. That is important because so many women die because of that. Charlie Murphy's wife died because of cervical cancer. Cervical cancer starts with HPV. HPV is typically started from a man that's having sex with multiple people. He's bringing that to you. And it goes undiagnosed because he can't feel it for whatever reason why they can't feel it, but your body feels it. And if you have a normal pap smear, don't look at the normal pap smear as this your normal. Say, test me for HPV. The insurance, you have to say that. Test me for HPV. Because HPV goes into cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is that dick being penetrated in other bacteria that your body can't handle.
I appreciate all this knowledge because some people just don't know. We appreciate that. And, that's something to think about. And not only are we getting it, but when it's televised, we are live streaming. Some person needed to hear that. Anson, you got your hand still up?
Yes, for a long time. Y'all
I'm
done had
sorry.
about
Go
4 or
ahead.
5 subjects since then. But
About 10.
yeah, about 10, maybe 20. I don't know. But either way, my hand was raised for the mere fact of, like I said before, I'm all about getting to the point. Straightest, the quickest way between 2 points is a straight line. And we have been going every which way but straight to the point. Fact is I feel that the main thing about this whole subject is that people are always looking for somebody to blame for what they are responsible for. So yes, people lie. People lie on a regular basis. We all know that. But you have to recognize the lie. And the only way a lie can affect you is if you let it affect you. Because people lie every day. So if you ask a question and they don't give you a straight answer, then you can say that's a lie. But if you find out something, they omit something from you, it's not their responsibility to divulge all their information to you. So yes, you might feel some kind of way about that, but that's not a lie. You can't say that a person lied to you because you didn't do your due diligence in your situation. Because as far as their situation is concerned, they didn't feel like you should know that information.
Okay. All right. Well, I see Douglas giving you a hands up and all that good stuff. And, you know, that's that's Douglas for you. So I'm gonna slide this on over to Dr. Feelgood. Is that a hand up, Lady T?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay, go right ahead.
So, with that being said, Anson, how do you know what to ask if someone's hiding something from you? Like, how would you even know the right question to ask when you're going into that relationship with a clean slate, trusting that person?
With any situation, regardless of what it is, it's your responsibility to find out what you feel you need to know to get into that situation. So if there's things that are pertinent to you, let's just say, for instance, you're getting into a relationship with someone and you're starting to really dig that person. It's up to you to find out what you need to find out in order to trust that person. You can't always defer fault when something is important to you. If it's important to you, then you do your due diligence to make sure that you find out what you need to find out. Far too often, people try to defer responsibility on someone else other than themselves. I've said this from the beginning of Scale Love for You. Accountability is the key to any relationship. As long as you hold yourself accountable in what you do in to embark upon that relationship, then you should be good. Everything else is going all around the world and trying to come back to where you started. Hold
Okay,
yourself accountable for what you do, and you don't have to worry about all this stuff.
so if I'm coming in with a clean slate and I'm holding myself, you know, telling him the truth, and he's supposedly telling me the truth. And then I just started asking questions just to confirm that, hey, you are telling me the truth. Now, what if he says, oh, you're being insecure? And all I'm doing is trying to ask the right questions.
There's a certain thing called
Hey, you
tact.
damn right I'm being insecure because I need to protect me. All
Well,
that other stuff don't matter. I don't care how you feel. It's about me right now. If I'm digging you and we jiving, I may be jiving with you more than you jiving, or vibing with you more than you vibing with me because you just want piece of ass. No, you need to concern yourself about you.
but just like with everything else in life, you have to show tact in everything that you do. You know what I mean? You can't just go into the store and grab it and walk out. You got to go pay for it. You know what I mean? You got to stay in line to get to the cash register. It's a certain way to go about doing things. So yes, you can't go into a relationship expecting to be all sunshines and rainbows. There's always going to be some kind of difficulty or some kind of challenge that will have to be faced. The problem is a lot of people go into these relationships thinking that it's supposed to be all fairy tales and storybook. No, you're gonna have anything that's worth having is worth working for.
Oh, you
And
gonna
like,
make me drink your bath water, Anson. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say, Anson, I agree with your statement. You answered that very well. I really can agree with that. And Lady T, I'm thinking, in to your point, your question, if someone, to me, that would be a red flag. If I'm asking certain questions, especially in the getting to know stage, because there are things that you each other deserves to know, and you don't know this person. So you were protecting yourself. You call it what you want. I don't feel that it's insecurity though. I feel that I need to know you. I need to know who I'm dealing with, you know? And if they have a problem or they get real standoffish answering your questions, or their reaction to your questions is off, I mean, honestly, I think for me that would be a red flag. And I don't think that would be the person worth, going
No.
forward for. I've been in a situation like that, and I ask certain things because that's how I am. I'm like that. I'm going to ask questions, and on certain things, I was told, the response I got back is like, well, we'll get to that. Like it was so new in the getting to know stage. I guess they felt like they didn't want to answer some of those particular questions at the moment. So it was like, I think that's something we'll talk about a little later down the line, this, that, and the other. Now, it wasn't anything enough for me to say, and I don't want to talk to this person, but just the fact that I didn't get met with such a resistance. But if somebody's off the top, like telling you, oh, you insecure, why you want to know this, and all of that, no, I don't even think we will be worth going forward.
Okay.
Because I think we're all grown and we all have a past. Like, nobody's perfect. We've all done things. Some of us have done things we're not totally proud of. You know what I'm saying? We've all had some type of past. And if you can't sit down with the person, like you said, you're trying to be with going forward and have a discussion about things, I don't believe we need to tell everything. I don't need to tell you every little detail in my past. But I think it was Dr. Fabulous, your question, when it comes to certain things like being an ex-stripper or ex-sex worker, I think those type of questions, I think, need honest answers. I think those are valid questions to ask.
Especially
Right.
if you're looking toward walking down the aisle with this individual, because how do you think that person will feel if you didn't tell them, even though you used to live in California, somewhere somebody's going to know you, and then you're in love, you've done all the paperwork, you getting ready to walk down the aisle, and this information is given to this person. It would be different if you told this individual opposed to somebody else. sharing your skeletons. You know?
Correct. Correct. And I know they
Mhm.
say a lie is a lie, right? But let's be real about it. Me disclosing, me keeping that I lived in Alaska for 6 months 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I don't tell you that. To me, that's totally different than me saying, yeah, I used to be a porn star and I made over 100 movies. Like, you come on. Like, you got like, you
But
know,
but
we
see, that's one thing that I would say to that is your past, yeah, it's up to you. It's your decision if you want to withhold that information from who you're dealing with. But at the same time, it would be beneficial for you to let that be known because that part of your past could come back to haunt you in your future.
Exactly. And
Correct.
that's what I was
Correct.
saying. Some people say take it to the grave, but if I'm loving this person and I feel that we're close enough to disclose some, you know, how they say you're laying down, you're having that pillow talk, and you just share, you know, babe, listen, everybody has a past. And I want to tell you that I used to do XYZ, but I no longer do that. That's just like a drug addict. You could have been a drug addict 25 years ago. But yet and still, if you don't say and you work through AAA and then you meet this person and he don't know you used to be a drug addict and then he bring it out to introduce or try to relax you in a way and then you hit it, you back on the same stick opposed to telling him, no, I can't do that because I used to be whatever I was. And that's why I believe that when you're in a relationship with someone, you should be able to tell them your deepest, darkest secret if you're moving forth to a relationship. And that should not be held over your head because either they're going to love you for you or they're not going to love you, period. Because you can't change what you used to be, you
Okay,
know?
but Dr. Fab,
Mm-hmm.
Lady T did a little questionnaire a while back, 20
Mm-hmm.
questions. And listening to Special K saying, okay, we don't need to discuss that now. We could discuss it later. Are you still gonna sleep with that man
No,
until that
ma'am. No, ma'am.
no,
Listen.
yeah, but I'm just saying, because you know you doing pillow talk and the 20 questions, it's gonna have that in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have those type questions in there to
But
get that out of him. And we're gonna
you
discuss
can
it
ask
later.
in a way to see where he's really going because you can be laying down watching TV and a scene happen in a movie and you say, "Hey babe, have you ever tried
That ever
that?"
happened to you?
Yeah, have you ever tried that? You know, you can ask them without really asking them and see what they say. Now, if you have a man or a woman, because like they say in this day and age, people have their own preferences. Maybe they like it both. Maybe they like to swirl around the world and do it all. But at least I feel that if that's what that person is, or that's what that person like, at least share it with your partner. Hey, babe, sometime I feel like a nut, sometime I don't. You see? It's all the way in which you talk to a person, how you communicate. And if you're getting serious about someone, I would hope that you're able to talk to them about everything under the sun. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what you want to do. That's
Right.
what you
let
So,
that's
me
type of
ask you,
person you want.
do you guys think that all of that comes? I mean, I don't really know what stage we're referring to in the meeting, dating versus, after a few dates, but do you think all of that comes right off the top? That's what I'm
No,
saying.
no,
You
it
give
does not.
any kind of grace. That's what I mean. Do you give any
No,
kind
it
of
does
grace
not
to
come
let
off the
certain
top.
things come a little bit along the way?
well,
It
let
does
me
come
ask
before
you
you get
this, Kay.
intimate. It
No,
does come before you get
that's
intimate.
what I was getting ready to say. It
Right.
depends on what stage in the relationship you are with that
Mm-hmm.
individual. Because if you're the type person, you meet them on week one, you talk. You meet them on week two, you ready to sleep with them. And I'm not just talking about sleep with them. I'm talking about bringing it to you in the raw sense of read between the line. Then that's your communication skill got to be up 24/7 to know which direction you're going. Also, when you're in that type of relationship, you need to know where your relationship is going anyway. Is this going to be just a hit it and quit it, or are you looking for something more than that? Because you can be with a person 4 or 5 years and it doesn't have to always
Ooh,
be a sexual thing,
ooh,
because you got to have something more than sex to keep that relationship going anyway. So you should have had good, deep conversations with someone when you're starting to really get into this person sexually.
Right. And that's why I think it's important to really, what men and women have to do is take your time. I just feel like just you find somebody you like them, vibe with them. Y'all go out on little dates, hang out. The more you're around a person, the more you interact with them, things are going to start coming out. They're going to like you. You'll like them. They'll start getting comfortable. You can ask, your questions can go a different route. You're asking more questions, and that's all I was saying is like, some things are not just going to all come out the second time you have a conversation with somebody.
no, but special K, you got to be careful. Let me tell you why.
Real careful.
Don't waste too much time. Don't waste too much time on a man if you're digging them. They can't sexually please you either. So be trying to hold out. Don't be trying to, don't be trying to
Because
hold
you
out.
got to go to sleep, right, Lynn?
Yeah, it's actually my
Wait, y'all. I got to say
yes.
this. This doggone Leanne, when she said she pull out her toy and please herself and then go to
I
sleep,
got to get my
thought
rest.
I thought I was gonna just laugh my head off to even imagine that, to even just envision such as that. You gonna let the man go to sleep and please yourself and then go to sleep. I ain't never heard it like that, Leanne, in a day
Okay,
of my life.
so I really need to have, but my sister wouldn't do it. But I really need to have her on the phone because she'll tell you her little friends come over. They might see the same bed, they may hold each other, and they ain't having sex because she's looking for something else. And if you can't give her what she's looking for, you ain't about to get that. She's different from
Okay.
me. She might can go to sleep. If I'm in heat, if
You're
I'm in
in
heat,
heat, Leanne.
if I'm in heat, if I'm horny as hell, I'm not going to sleep till I got it. You know that song, Who Is It by Chris Brown? Rock You Back to Sleep, girl. You know he don't say rock you back to sleep, but you know what he's saying. Anyway, I need, I need,
Yes, Leanne, yes.
I need to get my rest.
You need to get your rest. I
So,
got you.
but Special K, with all due respect, sometimes those questions have to come out. Not as soon as you want it to, but if you feeling that urge with them, say, hey, let's go take the test because I want to. I'm digging you. You let a man know you dig them, and a lot of
Yeah,
times you digging the man. A lot of
Mhm.
times you digging the man more than they digging you, but they ain't gonna turn down no coochie. So just like, hey, let's just go get our
Yeah,
test.
it's definitely pertinent information that you want to know up top. And
Yeah.
nowadays, the main two is really if you sleep with the same sex or have you ever had, any things like that. They're just certain things I do feel like are just really important to know.
Right, because you could be wasting your time.
Exactly. And nobody has time to be wasted.
All right. Well, I
And
appreciate
that's
But
all
why
see,
that.
that
you
all
have the
boils
21
down.
questions,
And,
guys. That's
okay,
important.
Anson has his hand up.
Yes, Anson, go ahead.
To answer the special case question is that to me, or even to me, I know that it all boils down to how well you are socially. It's a social aspect. So depending on what stage you want to propose the important questions to you depends on when you feel it's necessary. You know what I mean?
And I agree with that. That's why that was my point of my question. Like the way I was perceiving the conversation was going like you're saying, like all of this stuff, you got to get out of a person, boom, that first time, second time. But some things I feel like there are some things that you do ask off the top. There's a basis of questions to get to know someone, but there are some things that gradually you're always going to learn somebody. It's not going to all come within 1 month or 3 months.
Right.
Right.
And
If you
and
don't want to
I used
scare
to,
them off, you don't want to
right.
scare them off.
And see, I remember years ago, I hired this one associate, young dude, he fresh out of high school. He was a nice guy. He was kind of shy, but he was one of those guys that was, afraid to talk to women. So now he was one of my sales associates. I told him when I first hired him, I said, look, your being afraid to talk to women is going to go away really quickly as long as you're out there selling. And that's my point to, it depends on how well you are socially. Because yeah, that whole awkwardness of being able to talk to women was an awkwardness for him when he first got there. But oh, you should have seen him. He definitely changed over time. He got more used to talking to people, and that is exactly what I mean by the stages you are in your relationship all depends on how well you are socially. And honestly, from a man's perspective, there's a lot of women that are very, very horrible socially. Very horrible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how
Okay.
you look. You could be as fine as wine, but be the worst social person ever in the world. So it all depends on how you are socially with other people. A lot of people think it's all about them, which is the worst thing.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. I'm going to ask a question now, and I'm going to start this question off with the one and only Papa Doc. So, Papa Doc, let me ask you, when you meet a woman and you have some interest in her, what are some of the first questions that you ask her, or what are some of the first conversations you have with the individual? Did I scare Papa Doc off? Because all of a sudden he disappeared.
It looks
But
like
okay, I think
I'm
I
gone.
scared.
I ran. I hauled ass.
Oh,
Yeah. Like
oh,
I'm a normal person, so I gotta have just a normal conversation just to see, because I'm big on maturity. I mean, you can answer any question how you want to answer, but if the maturity ain't there, the rest of the shit ain't gonna be there. And that's how I feel. That's my personal opinion. So I might start off talking about anything, just anything in general. Then I'll work my little questions in as I go along. So just to kind of warm the person up, not make nobody feel awkward. We can talk about anything. When's your birthday? What's your sign? All that kind of crazy stuff. So that's how my approach is. And then,
okay,
you know, I'll wait till they say something like, wow, that was really judgmental or really immature. I don't think I'm gonna match up with this person. And she might
so
look good, but that brain ain't all there. You know what I mean? It's a little rattle up there, so I might slide
okay,
off after that.
you checking for the little crazy zone. Okay,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. So you consider yourself a smooth operator?
Uh, no. So, little small thing. I met some cousins, my namesake, a few years ago, and they had this ongoing joke that kind of fit me. Like we are charmers, so I'm a charmer. So I'm not a
Mm.
smooth operator, but I know how to charm your ass. So
Oh, all right.
yeah,
You're a charmer. Okay,
I'm
well,
a charmer.
I'm gonna roll this same question over to Douglas. Douglas, did you hear the question?
I knew he was coming to me. Lately, I have three questions. Can you cook well? Can you bake a sweet potato pie? And if need be, how do you feel about getting on ingrown hairs and razor bumps? And then I ask you your name.
Wait a
Oh,
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What you said
Lady T
about
is my
ingrown hair and
name.
razor bumps? What did you say? How do you feel about what? Picking them out or
Yeah, if I
getting
got some
them?
razor bumps or blackheads, can I put my head in your lap and you pluck them and get them?
He's
Ain't no
so
damn pimple
country
popper.
with
Ain't no
with the
Dr. Pimple
tweezers.
popper.
boy, leave it up to Douglas. So Douglas, she got to know how to make a sweet potato pie.
Wait,
She got to
Dr.
be able to.
Feelgood. I'm
She got.
sorry. We have like 8 minutes left. We haven't heard from I'm sorry, Dr. Fabulous. We haven't heard from Dr. Feelgood or Andreen tonight. What's going on,
Hey,
fam?
Lady T,
Yes.
this is the month of November.
Lady T
This
is
is
my
Q
name.
one. So how you gonna interrupt me to bring on a Kappa?
Because I already told you, you
Where,
asked
where
three
you where
questions
you
and I told
located?
you my name is Lady T.
Where you located? I'm gonna have to talk to you.
Sorry, I'm irritated.
She doesn't know about the Divine Nine. Doug, give her a break. She doesn't know about the Divine Nine.
Well, she about to find out.
She doesn't know J5 in November. She doesn't know any of that. She'll know about 1940. She doesn't know about that.
1911 friend.
Lady T say she is who she is, 24/7, 365.
The golden voice with the lady's choice.
Amen.
So go ahead, Dr. Feelgood. We want to hear that.
The silver tongue devil.
Mm.
Well, you know, if need be, I can jump right in. And
yeah, go ahead, Douglas. Hey,
no, go ahead. You had your hand up for a long time, and we just kept
the past.
Right past you.
I ain't even worried about that. I ain't even worried about that. It's the past is the past. As y'all ladies and gentlemen know, I'm Dr. Feelgood, the man with the golden voice, the lady's choice, of course. School as a Rolls Royce, coming to you live from the 571, where I have things done and I have a lot of fun. So if you're ready for your ride, I'm going to come inside because I'm a pleasure delivery specialist, and you can't get next to this. I'm going to play a quick video. Just give me a second. Kind of what we've been encapsulating what we talked about.
Dr. Feelgood is the smooth operator. Papa Doc is the charmer. Douglas, what are you?
So.
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Okay, I saw that.
Play that for me. I ain't seen it.
I saw that on Instagram.
Go ahead and play it, please.
That was back in college.
Can y'all hear that?
Can y'all hear that?
No, we can't hear.
Hold on.
College, home for the love of God. It was in college. It was in college. You act like you were never curious before. You never messed around with. I'm a good man. Any woman, any woman will want a man like me. Any woman will want a man. College, home for the love of God. It was in college. It was in college. You act like you were never curious before. You never messed around with. I'm a good man. Any woman,
can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that?
Go ahead and explain, because it was on there double.
Hell no. No, but you know what? I'm listening. Wait. I'm gonna tell you something that what I peeked out from the Giddy Up. Most men, and I'm gonna say real men, and I pray I'm not stepping on toes, but most men is not gonna fuss with women like that. You see, so even though it happened back in college, he still had that underlying tendency of some femininity, I believe, because he was fussing back with her like he was another woman. You see, and a real man really don't fuss like that.
I will partially disagree with you on that, because
you think a man will fuss back just like that?
No. I'm not gonna say exactly like that, but I think a lot of women take that same note, what you just said, whenever a man step up to them. So no, it's not.
They can step up, but it's the way in which they step.
You can't determine that as a woman.
Oh, okay. Well, most of the time when I see a man getting back and snapping his head and doing all that, I'm looking at him like, really?
Yeah, all the body motions and all that stuff. Yeah, that can be called out. But just the mere fact of bucking up against a woman is not feminine. If anything, that's
now what do you consider bucking up? Because when I'm saying bucking up, when a man is fussing and he doing all of this and all the neck movement and this and that, that's extremely feminine.
Like that doesn't necessarily mean that he likes men. He could have been raised that way. If you're around a lot of women, you're gonna catch a lot of women tendencies, because men emulate men when they're men.
Okay, but the flamboyancy and all of that, I thank God I always liked the old thug. So, I can't get down with the get down.
I wish a nigga would stand in my face and snap some fingers and ring Lady Neck. I'm gonna knock it.
Might have been fabulous.
Did you hear what Lady T said? If a man was standing up in her face snapping fingers and twisting his neck, she'll knock it off. So that's what I believe any real woman would look and say, well, my God, you got more twists and snaps than me.
And y'all know I don't have rhythm.
You know, the white person and the black woman.
We can barely hear you, Dr. Feelgood. Bring that silver tongue on up a little bit louder because we can't hear you.
How about now?
Okay, that's much better.
Yes.
Okay. Like I was saying, I understand what y'all saying. I mean, the man probably did, if he took peen, he more than likely he bisexual at least. So the thing is, though, is she found out about it. And that's kind of what you guys were saying earlier. You saw the results of that. So what I'm saying is that, you know, we gotta be able to know when to be direct and when to kind of ease something in. Now, a guy's not gonna just come out and say, look, when I was 21, I took 7 peens. That's not gonna work because there's no woman in here, and if y'all say y'all would, I'm gonna call you a liar to your face. I say the devil is a lie, and you are not of him. If a man told you that he performed fellatio on another man one time in his life, and you say, and I guarantee you may not say it, but it's in the back of your mind. You're not gonna say, well, that was a pass. It don't matter. Correct me if I'm wrong.
We ain't gonna say that. We ain't gonna say that.
I'm going to correct you, but because in college or high school or whatever, you have people that are curious. And I'm going to say 75% of the time, especially girls, they experiment because of curiosity, but it doesn't make them a lesbian. And same as a man.
What I'm saying, no, I'm telling you because I knew
you
it.
said one time. One time is
I don't
curious.
know if it was one time.
But if you keep doing it, then you
on this side of the fence.
But hey, Douglas, now correct me if I'm wrong. If a man if think about this, and I can't say women will do this, but I have a feeling in my heart. If a man told him, well, I sucked the peen one time in high school, what the hell is she gonna think, Douglas?
They were curious.
He's bisexual.
They didn't know they were curious. Like that nigga gay.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, lady.
If you do something
Elin Harris. It started with him out in college.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. It doesn't matter, and we can all say that. Well, a person's past, but that's something that 98% of men ain't gonna bring up to no. They taking that to the grave. They're taking that to the grave. But what I'm saying is that, you know, you're never gonna find out. I think Special K said it earlier. You're never gonna find out 100% of who a person is. You can know them for 40 years, 50 years.
Even if you're married to him, you're absolutely right.
100% about a person. And that's okay, because there's some things about somebody, whether you're boyfriend, girlfriend, whether you're married, there's some things you'd rather not know. Even if you have the idea that a person did that, you don't really want to know. You don't really, because once you're told, you got to act, and maybe you don't want to act. Well, for example, one of the things was the porn star thing. Before the internet, if someone said back in '79, because a lot of us are more mature than others, so we remember before VHS and Betamax.
Yes.
So but if you know that, and somebody said, you know, oh, I saw your girl. I remember your girl from somewhere. She remind. Oh, her name Jawbone. Boy, you a lucky man. You a lucky man. Now, she could be giving you
Y'all want to give me that
the
joke?
guac. That's what I'm saying. No, she give you the guac 8,000 special. Curl your toes, curl your feet, curl your legs, curl your butt cheeks, and she drink you like a what's those pouches? Capri Suns. She drink you like a Capri Sun. But if somebody else told you that,
feel good getting tickled.
You're gonna be like, you're gonna look at them different, like, why they call you Jawbone? And those are those things that, like I said, it could be knowledge, but sometimes ignorance is bliss. So telling everybody everything is not always the best answer, but don't lie. If someone, because women are good at this, if they know something, they're gonna ask the guy directly. Did you talk to Bo Shaniqua the other day?
Which is why I said what I said earlier. Ask direct questions. Y'all ask direct questions. Y'all just don't want to get the answers that y'all want.
But the thing is, though, and this is one of the things, sometimes, though, even with those questions, sometimes you ask questions you really don't want to know an answer to. Even though, like I said, you talk to phone Quisha. Nah, I ain't talked to her. I don't know who she is.
You got to ask the question. You got to ask the questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can somebody tell me the Jawbone joke? Because I want to know.
That was from House Party 3, Bernie
Lock,
Mac.
The lockjaw.
You look familiar. Yeah, you look familiar. So yeah, I remember your nickname.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and watch that.
See, you gotta be a guy to understand those jokes.
Okay. Thank God I'm not a guy.
You see the rest of us. See all the guys laughing.
A hose pipe.
What?
She can suck a watermelon through a straw.
Oh, okay.
You saw her face. You saw Lady T's face. Like, oh, but that's kind of, if you get it like that, and this is, I'm not going to speak for every guy, but most guys.
Yeah, it hurts right here.
Saying if a woman can give you the guac 8,000, and like that's your first time, your mind's just like y'all minds be racing off of random stuff. Our minds race off stuff like that. Ooh, she kind of too good at this.
She pro.
She kind of too good at this. Hey, if am I lying, Douglas? Am I lying, Nancy?
It's like
some people
hey,
just
I'm not gonna worry about that. If
but
she
I mean,
good at it, I'm just gonna be thankful.
No, I didn't say it's gonna be something to worry about. I'm saying you thinking about it though. You thinking about it. What about
so
you,
what
Papa
you're
Doc?
saying that if a young lady is good at walking, you're gonna think that she had a ministry going on?
Yeah.
She had
might
practice.
have.
Yeah.
She had a hell of a lot of practice.
Not necessarily. That's just like some people are born. Some people are born with the gift, just like I can sing. So and I never took a singing lesson.
But everybody ain't lined up.
Some women may just have the gift for the guac, and they don't have to do it.
And we understand. Our logical mind understands that.
You're talking about what men think when that's going on.
I'm telling you, it's
that's what he said when a man thinks.
Right. I'm saying, like a man. I'm not saying that the woman could have been. This could have been her first time, and she gave you the guac 20,000. And she's not lying to you, but the way she making you feel, you gonna think something.
You gonna
feel
insecure. You gonna feel insecure and wonder how many other people got this. What number?
Exactly.
What number is my ticket? Am I number 193 or am I number 1? Because
how many other men feel just like me right now, or felt like me?
Right. Go ahead, Papa Doc.
It make you feel insecure because as soon as you go out the front door, 10 people lined up at the back door. That's what it'll make you that insecure because she was so good about it. Yeah, she made me feel good, but how many other people did she feel good?
Right.
It's not insecure.
it's just that you just think that
what you think of her and everything, and your conversation. It's like, oh, this too good to be a novice.
Exactly.
And
but that doesn't mean that
she goes down in value. Be like, okay, well,
right. Because she could be holy and saved, she sit on the first pew at the church, because that's normally
those are the best ones. They will put the Holy Ghost on you. Yes, yes. Amen. At the church is the best time.
Yes, absolutely. Per experience, yeah. So,
well, I'm gonna agree to disagree, because just because someone is good at, I could be that person and say I'm good at everything, and it could be my first time. I don't think that it should be held like a card over her head that because she's good at it you could be the very first time. She's just good at what she does.
But wait a minute. So now that you said that,
and we understand that.
Right.
We understand that logically, but that doesn't stop us from thinking that. That's
correct. Right. So to go back, so I was in college and I let this dude kiss my penis one time. I only did it one time. So that makes me
bag, y'all.
Hey, right. See what I'm saying? Right. So now that just put that all in the same basket.
Fraternity people do that crazy mess.
It put all of that in the same basket of, it's gonna make your mind think, okay, just because you was good at it and that was your first time, oh, you lying to me because you done this somewhere before.
No, I didn't say it was me. I'm just saying I'm a great singer, but I never had to take a lesson. That's what I was trying to get.
No. That's not what they said, though. That's not what
he was giving an example of how men think.
That girl is poison, and that's what they thinking of, because that was her first time. How can she be so pro at it? You got
one thing that y'all did not mention that no one has mentioned is that it's all based on how the man feels about her performance in the first place, because the DFG might think that she the best, but I might think she trash. So it all depends on the perspective of the man that's getting the fellatio.
But the idea is not she didn't lie about it. It's just like I said, something like that. It's going to get you thinking. And on
I got you.
Right, and on the males, on the women's side, y'all do some of the same things, because I remember one time way back in the day, I was doing my thing, and a woman said, "Did you go to school for this?" It took me. I was like, "What?"
Dr. Feel Good.
He just said to himself,
put it this way.
No,
he just took his own horn, silver tongue.
No. See, but listen, but I realized I didn't hit the crazy button. Y'all all got a crazy button. It's just whoever hits it, that's when you looking for them in the daytime with a flashlight.
I hate
tires
that
ain't safe. And
I hate that button.
Guys
know. Button answer?
It varies. It varies.
In fact, every woman has a different crazy button, but y'all all got a crazy button.
Oh yeah.
And when a guy
hits and men do too.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't say men. No, men do have a crazy button.
Yes.
And like I said, if you're giving me the guac 5430 with a triple grip twist with a left-handed turn, and you making me like shoot a fire hose, oh, we go together. We go together.
Not to go together. Not to go.
You ain't giving this a go.
Listen. Well, we're going to have to write a book, Dr. Feel Good. That's why you can't do it too often. You got to make them linger and want for it. There you go. Because if you got that Glock and you know you got that Glock, you say, not this week, not this month.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Doc.
No. That's it. I was just listening about the Glock.
But that's what I'm saying, though. It's especially
look at Douglas over there smiling. He got that little
when it comes
little snide smile going on. You didn't have some Glock, Douglas.
I cannot confirm or deny.
Okay. Omission. I got you.
Right. It goes back to it goes back to what Anson been saying and Douglas been saying, is that, you know, what, and it all depends on the person. What's good for me may not be good for Douglas or Doc or Anson. We can have the same woman in 4 different stages of her life and have differing experiences in how we experience her. I could have been the last guy and got that and been like, "Ooh, I'm in love with a stripper." She wrote, and they looking at me like, "Dude, she the pass around, bruh. You fell in love with the pass around." But that's you know, but I probably knew that before I even went there. We all knew each other. You know that when you get there, and if she gives you the
now that
business,
you said what you said, do you think that a woman that has a past can never be transformed into a housewife? That's why I'm saying, when you love someone, this is what I'm asking. When you love someone, regardless of what their past is, they can always be transformed just into the person for you if you truly love them.
No one can be transformed. They are who they are.
Right. Here's my retort to that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, yes, you can turn a 304 into a housewife. However, what kind of husband are you going to be? A 304
one that
doesn't get
loves,
a high quality person.
Cherish, and do all of the things that come with the words.
Right. No, listen, Doc. I'm telling you, a 304 does not get the quality.
What's a 304? You got to break that. I thought you was getting ready to say a 305. I was getting ready to
it's a whole home. Flip the
a hoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you have that, and some of them got more bodies than the Predator. I heard that from somewhere. Got more bodies than the Predator, and want to do like Douglas, a businessman, got his life together. You know, a church going
on the down low,
Omega Man.
Look, I'm just saying like this. On the down low, majority of the men want 304s. So don't play.
No, a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. But what to answer your question, yeah, a man can marry a woman like that, and she becomes a wife. It's all what you want. Exactly. And if the guy knows her full history, then he's accepting of her.
Exactly.
But most men's standards is like,
Douglas, I'm gonna give you a hand clap tonight. I'm gonna give that to you.
But wait, let me finish.
Finish.
But no, I would say, for most men, you know, she has a past like that. It's a no-go. Won't even get to the marriage stage. You know, she'll just be the set out. You know, when I need some relief.
Okay.
Let me call stress relief Stephanie.
Oh, gotcha.
And that's
so.
And that's
y'all
not
have a whole. You can meet this person
just like the video he just showed. You know, the guy did it one time back in college.
No, it says several. It says several, not one. It says several.
One occasion, maybe.
Well, I think he said it
10, 17.
But it happened in college. That was 30 years ago. It happened in college.
Right.
Yes.
But anyway,
but it happened in
we're
college.
at a point now where even if you're in a committed relationship and the man's doing all the right things, if he break down and cry in front of you, you automatically think he's less of a man. So now you take just crying and he's done good stuff for you, and now you find out he was with another guy. And so, you know, we get put down and kicked out for crying in front of you.
But you know what? I think,
no,
like you
that's
say,
not true. That's
no.
mental.
It's a mental thing. I think with any woman, I can only speak for Dr. Fabulous, that if I met a man and he has been sexual, intimate with men in the past. In my subconscious mind or from my mouth, I may say, I accept him as a friend. He can never be anything more to me at this point other than just a friend. We would never, ever be sexual, anything, because in my subconscious mind, I'm thinking to myself, is he thinking of me as me, or is he thinking of me as a man?
You mean sexual anymore because you already been sexual with him?
No. We ain't never been sexual. We getting to that point, but he tells me this up front. And that's just like men that I'm going to put this out there. I know we're being recorded, but some of the religious men in the music sector, and because I used to sing and travel around with different entertainers, and I see them now with women, and I know what they used to do. In my subconscious, in the back of my mind, I'm saying, now you putting on a whole fraud, because I know how you used to get down. But they say God can change anyone, but I'm gonna leave that up to them and God.
I don't like men's no more. I don't like men's no more.
I'm just saying.
I like women's.
I'm just saying. But that does nothing for me, because if you ever put your mouth to tell me that this has happened in the past, it's definitely a no-go. But it's up to anybody who want to do what they want to do. And with me saying that, the time is drawing near, and I'm going to say my final thoughts. I thank each and every one of you, even Papa Docs, who let the boy kiss it back in college. I'm never going to forget that. But anywho, I'm going to send it over to Lady T, and from Lady T, Dr. Feelgood, and from Dr. Feelgood to Special K.
Kiss it better. That's all I can say. I have enjoyed this show tonight. Special K, I'm sliding it over to you.
Thank you. Good topic, everyone. Great conversation. I enjoyed. Everyone have a good night. Have a blessed rest of your week. And we're going to slide it on over to none other than our Dr. Feelgood.
Ladies and gents, thank you for allowing me to make you laugh, make you think. We were bogged down for a second, but we recovered, and the show picked up a lot. I can't wait till next week, and I just want to say, never make love by the garden gate. Though love is blind, the neighbors ain't. Back to you, Doc.
All right. And those of you who may need to come back on next week for a rebuttal, we'll be here the same place, same time, waiting to, have that talk about anything you wish, with the open forums from Upscale Love for You, Tantalizing Talk. And with that being said, I'm going to say good night and smooches.